Welcome back to ZNGP today. As the curtain closed on MotoGP's return to Brno, a curious tire pressure investigation clouded the sprint results, dragging Marc Márquez, Rins, and Ai Ogura under scrutiny. But according to Michelin boss Piero Taramasso, it wasn't the riders who slipped up. It was a race direction oversight. In a detailed post-race breakdown, Taramasso unpacked the chaos surrounding minimum pressures, weather variables, and why Marquez once again had to slow down to speed up. Jorge Martin's long-awaited MotoGP comeback unfolded in Brno with a quiet intensity. Far from peak form, the Aprilia rider nonetheless delivered a gritty ride to 7th, and a weekend full of physical strain, steady progress, and emotional payoff. As the paddock watched his return closely, Martin focused less on results and more on regaining rhythm. His reflections reveal a rider already working toward a stronger second half. KTM sports director Tyre laid out an ambitious roadmap for the Austrian squad: no cuts, no compromises, and a clear target, matching Ducati's benchmark by 2027. In an exclusive with GP1, Tyre explained KTM's multi-bike strategy, rider retention pressures, engineering focus, and excitement over Liberty Media's entry. Here's how KTM plans to go from challenger to champion. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Taramasso revealed the real issue. Race direction failed to upload the correct minimum front tire pressure values, which are adjusted each weekend based on local atmospheric pressure. They didn't enter the updated value into the software that monitors pressure in real time. The 3 riders were within the required limits and were cleared immediately. Piero Taramasso's statement. What seemed like a rule breach was actually a technical input error, one that triggered automatic alerts but didn't reflect actual infringement. Marquez slowed down mid-race to tuck behind another rider and heat up his front tire, a repeat of a similar maneuver in Thailand. Yes, Marc was a bit low and had to get behind someone to raise the temperature and bring pressure back up. Some took it badly, others said it added to the show. The tactic split opinions, but it worked. Marquez stayed within the limit while avoiding a penalty, and giving fans another storyline. Friday's constant rain, plus Brno's resurfacing and a 5-year MotoGP absence, left teams flying blind with no historical data. It wasn't easy to predict the pressure level. If Friday had been dry, these problems likely wouldn't have occurred. The rain robbed teams of setup time, while the fresh asphalt changed grip dynamics, leaving tire strategies up in the air. Several riders experienced vibration issues, especially at the front end, as they grappled with damp conditions and a green track. Most went with mediums. The front struggled a bit in the second half, but Bezzecchi on the soft rear was flying at the end. The sprint offered a mixed bag, useful where data, but unpredictable feedback. Mediums were safe, softs were fast late, but riskier early on. With sunshine and more setup time, Sunday's full race saw less drama and stronger tire performance, especially up front. The medium front held up well, even in hotter temps. Grip was high, and many set their fastest laps in the final few laps. The difference a dry Saturday makes. Armed with sprint data, riders pushed harder on Sunday with fewer surprises. Despite Ducati's dominance, Brno's final order saw bikes from KTM, Aprilia, and Yamaha mixing in the front group. That's positive. It shows that in the right conditions, others can close the gap to Ducati. That's good for the second half of the season. Michelin's updated compounds and Brno's high-grip asphalt leveled the field just enough to hint at a more competitive run-in. What looked like a controversy was, in reality, a software oversight. But it underscored MotoGP's razor-thin margins, where tire pressure can make or break a result, and a slipstream can be the difference between a penalty or a podium push. With new data, resurfaced circuits, and a grid hungry to dethrone Ducati, The second half of 2025 promises more than just speed, it promises intrigue. Martin entered the weekend not chasing glory, but gathering data. His aim was to build lap-by-lap understanding, especially after lap 10, when fatigue and physical strain began to show. My objective was, from lap 10 onwards, to see where I needed to improve. I worked well, we were super progressive. And that's all, I'm happy. Jorge Martin's statement. For a rider returning from injury, Brno was more diagnostic than dramatic. Martin used the race as a testing ground for both his body and machine. Martin admitted to running hot, literally. Throughout the race, his heart rate never dropped below 195 bpm, a clear sign that his body isn't yet race fit. Still, he pushed on. My heart rate didn't drop below 195 the entire race. I've been at 170 when I'm in shape. There were moments I felt a little dizzy, but I had a Red Bull and recovered. While the spirit was strong, the physiology hadn't caught up. But for Martin, acknowledging weakness is part of regaining strength. One of the scarier moments came at turn 8, where a misconfigured engine brake almost threw him offline. Martin adapted on the fly, switching maps mid-race. At turn 8 I had too much engine brake. Then I changed maps and it was better. I'm a rider that frees the rear a lot when I go forward. His technical feedback was sharp, showing Martin's mental racercraft remains elite, even if the physical side is catching up. Across 3 days, the Aprilia didn't feel perfect, but it improved. Friday brought front-end struggles, Saturday rear-end grip issues, and Sunday a more balanced bike. It was one of the few scares I've had. First day, front problem. Second day, rear problem. Sunday, more balance. So I'm happy. The learning curve was steep, but steady. Each session yielded insights Martin will carry into Austria and beyond. With the summer break ahead, most riders are unwinding. Martin? He's doubling down, logging hours on the bike and rebuilding the fitness he lost during rehab. Tomorrow, I'm already thinking about my 3 hours on the bike. Normally I train 1 or 2 days. This time I'll have to work harder. For Martin, this comeback isn't just about returning. It's about restarting his campaign stronger, and using every minute of the break to close the gap to the leaders. Jorge Martin's return to MotoGP wasn't headline-grabbing, but it was quietly heroic. Dizzy spells, 195 bpm heart rate, a turn 8 scare, none of it stopped him. 7th place was a small step, but the real milestone was mental. Martin's self-awareness, adaptability, and determination mark him as a man still very much in the fight. And if his training plan holds, Austria may see him not just back, but ready. With regulation changes on the horizon, Tyre stressed KTM's commitment to retain 4 riders and 4 machines, vital for data gathering and development. There are many things to start working on immediately. Always 2 teams and 4 bikes in play. We won't make cuts. Our vision is to be on track in 2027 with a fantastic bike for riders and 2 bikes. Pit Tyre's statement. Maintaining a full 4-bike effort ensures maximum feedback and accelerates progress toward KTM's ultimate goal, a title-contending package. Tyre acknowledged the challenge: keep elite riders happy by delivering a machine capable of winning. We have the best riders we could wish for. If we don't give them title-fighting opportunities, we risk losing them. Rider loyalty hinges on performance. KTM's onus is clear: develop a bike that not only closes gaps but gives factory stars a genuine shot at victory. Ducati's benchmark looms large, but Tyre insists KTM's steady engineering work is bearing fruit. Ducati set the benchmark. They're doing fantastic work. We're getting closer, but progress is millimeter by millimeter. There are no shortcuts in MotoGP. The Austrian squad has climbed to P2 in the constructors' table, proof that incremental gains stack up over a long season. From electronics to aerodynamics, KTM's engineers are honing every component to achieve consistency across circuits. At the moment, we're missing some small details. Everything has to be perfect, from chassis to engine, including aerodynamics and electronics. True parity demands holistic refinement. KTM's fantastic job in Brno shows promise, but perfection is the final frontier. Tyre revealed winter warm-up challenges and the mental resilience needed to push KTM forward. This winter was really tough. If anyone doubts, there isn't full energy needed. But now we're taking steps forward and improving with every race. Beyond hardware, KTM's internal confidence, fueled by positive race weekends, will be the engine that drives future breakthroughs. Dorna's stewardship elevated MotoGP. Liberty Media's arrival promises further expansion, something KTM embraces. Dorna made a fantastic championship. If Liberty Media can take this sport to a higher level, we want to be part of it. We came here in 2017 to stay. As MotoGP evolves, KTM sees partnership with Liberty as a chance to amplify reach, investment, and the series' global appeal. Pit Byra's roadmap for KTM is crystal clear: no shortcuts, no downsizing, an unwavering focus on engineering excellence. With 4 bikes feeding data, elite riders demanding podium chances, and a supportive governance landscape, KTM aims to transform aspiration into reality by 2027. The fight to dethrone Ducati is on, and KTM is already revving up for victory. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!